Hello, Erica. Just wanted to make a response to your video on disclosure. I've thought about this before a little bit since I've had contact with ETs. I've obviously been forced to think about it. This brings to mind the quote, the mystery school quote: "When the student is ready, the teacher shows up. When the people are ready, the ETs will show up." Well, it seems like uh, the general idea that's been floating around is that they're going to come in their ships and just land and, come hang out with people one day. And I'm not really seeing that as accurate because that hasn't been my experience. And if I had gone from never having never having any contact like like the sleep time contact that people start off with, if I had never had that, seeing an ET in person would have been extremely, 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 extremely shocking. And they're not going to do that. They just won't. This is my feeling, my opinion. So as far as wanting the government to confirm everybody's suspicions and people who've seen ETs and been abducted, or I've not been abducted. That's not been my experience. I don't think that it was against my will, and that's what abduction, the word abduction, kind of connotates as against your will. Well, it wasn't against my will. So I've done that, and the other people that have done that, I'm not sure if they think the same way that I do. I haven't, heard direct confirmation of that. A lot of the stuff, a lot of the videos that I've seen, disclosure, it's people that have watched a lot of UFO videos, maybe had some sleep time abduction experiences, and haven't gone the full conscious road of connecting telepathically and seeing a being. I'm not sure if it would change if people had seen a being already, if that would change their mind to say that, they would say, well, disclosure, maybe disclosure should be on an individual basis. That's my feeling. That's what, maybe I'm just lining up with the ET consciousness on this, and possibly that's what the real disclosure experience is going to continue to be, is a one-on-one basis. They'll come slowly in your sleep, once in a while, then more, and then leading up to the possibility of face to face, and go from there. Because the people that are asleep, they're on that path, and they need to be there for whatever length amount of time they need to be there. And I use sleeping and waking as a metaphor for contact and not contact, you know, no contact and contact. So that's my thoughts. Anything else that I've got to think that I need to say? So I think that disclosure is happening. Has been happening. You look back at when this first started. When did it first start? You know what I mean? Contact with ETs. We've seen, if you've seen Ancient Aliens, or you know, a lot of the UFO shows on TV, you will see accounts from 2 centuries ago and all the way back to petroglyphs with ET beings in there. So when is it actually started? When is disclosure going to be? Well, disclosure has been. It's disclosed. But it has to be an individual awakening to the reality of it. That's my thought. So, as far as confirmation from the government, I don't need confirmation from the government. That's just me. The real disclosure that needs to come from the government is free energy, is uh, is all the corruption needs to be disclosed. You know, the ET thing is really kind of big, but compared to those things, it's kind of like, well, yeah, it would be nice to know, but it would also be great to have free energy. It would also be great to be able to get the cabal out of the government and stop it from doing more damage and replace the corrupt monetary system, etc. Those things are huge. That's pretty much even leaked down to the normal media at this point, even though they don't really talk about it very much. It's there. So, if you want to look into my ET experiences, I've described them in past videos, so you can check those out. Thank you for bringing this subject up and into my consciousness, because I've thought about it more, and yeah, that's good. Okay, have a good one. Namaste.